Kyle, is anyone good at singing? Good at singing? Because we're doing karaoke. Bubbles. I don't know. I'm not really usually good at singing much. Cartman. Heh. Not even your space boyfriend can sing then you? Dib rolled his eyes while watching all this in disbelief, feeling curious about everything going on.
Zim chuckled at Cartman's comment, unbothered by it. He spoke up, his voice confident and cocky. Hey, hey! I don't know about that, Fatas. I think I can hold my own in a sing-off. I'm pretty good at a lot of things, including singing. He glanced at Bubbles, his eyes glittering with confidence and a hint of mischief.
Bubbles looks at Zim by surprise, especially Dib, who looks curious. Dib. Odd, we never heard you sing before. Bubbles. Can you show me, please? Charlotte. I should pick a fun rhythm for this, hee hee. Gaz. Good luck with that.
Zim chuckled confidently at Bubbles' request, feeling a rush of excitement at the idea of showing off his singing skills. Hey, hey! I'd be more than happy to show you, Sugar Puff. Just make sure you're thoroughly impressed. He said, his voice cocky and confident. He glanced at Charlotte as she offered to pick a rhythm, a smile playing at his lips.
Bubbles giggles a bit excited. Mabel, I think we found the perfect song. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Charlotte positively handing Zim the microphone while Star Butterfly turns on the karaoke machine, preparing the song. Dib. Oh, he's going to sing karaoke now? Gaz. How interesting.
Zim eagerly accepted the microphone from Charlotte, feeling a mixture of anticipation mixed with a sense of determination to impress Bubbles with his singing. Hee hee, this'll be fun. Watch and be impressed, Sugar Puff, he said, as he positioned himself ready for the song to start, a cocky grin spreading across his face.
Gaz rolled her eyes sarcastically. This should be interesting. Bubbles watches. Mabel pressed play as the song started playing.
As the song started playing, Zim's initial excitement began to morph into a mix of nerves and anticipation. This was his moment to impress Bubbles with his singing, and he was determined to give it everything he had. Here we go, Sugar Puff. I hope you're ready to be impressed, he said, his voice slightly tense with a mix of nerves and excitement. As the song continued to play, he began to sing along, his eyes focused on Bubbles as he did.
The first lyrics started showing up on the screen as the song plays the beginning. Bubbles listened in, sparkled excitement. Her heart pounds crazy, her face rosy. She smiled wider. Everyone else watching curiously.
Zim's focus was entirely on Bubbles as he sang along with the song, his voice low and melodic. He continued to sing, his heart racing with a mix of nerves and eagerness to impress her. He kept his eyes locked on her reaction, trying to gauge her response to his singing.
Bubbles danced around in enjoyment, emotionally interested. Dib was slightly shocked by how incredible Zim's singing voice was getting, in disbelief, while Gaz was a bit amused but didn't care. Blossom, whoa! Cartman, holy crap, that cannot be possible. Kyle was mesmerized as he continued to watch and listened by surprise stunned.
Zim continued to sing along with the Christmas song, feeling a sense of satisfaction at seeing Bubbles dancing around in enjoyment. Seeing her reaction made him feel more confident and a sense of accomplishment, and he found himself enjoying the moment more with every passing moment. He continued singing, his voice confident and melodic, his eyes locked on hers, his heart racing with a mix of nerves and happiness.
Bubbles was so dazed while listening to how Zim's voice sang to the lyrics, making her think he meant all of that on her, making her flutter in thrill awkwardness, her heart skipping beats crazy fast, her face more heated up. Ed stupidly holds onto Eddie emotionally. Here's the voice of an angel, eh? Eddie, yeah, easy, Lumpy. I can tell he does now. Wow. Cartman, there is no way in hell no way he was able to mesmerize Bubbles with that singing voice. And moments like hell.
Zim continued to sing along with the song, his heart racing with excitement and anticipation. The way Bubbles reacted to his singing made him feel a mix of emotions, from the initial nerves and anticipation to the growing confidence as he saw her reactions and the way her face heated up. He poured everything into the song, his focus entirely on Bubbles. A small, cocky smirk tugging at his lips as he continued to sing, his heart swelling with a mix of affection and joy.
Bubbles continued to watch Zim's movements and singing in romantic days way relaxingly admired. Morty Smith, damn. Charlotte, aw, adorable. He's also swooning her with his talented singing voice. Vendetta, how swooning is he anyway? Jenny, I must admit, putting a lot of heart into it, he's definitely affectioning her swooning while doing so as well. Cartman snickers in amusement and disbelief, while Blossom and Dipper Pines find this curiously interesting.
Zim's heart was racing with a mix of emotions as he continued to sing, his voice melodic and smooth. He poured everything into the performance for Bubbles, hoping to woo her with his singing, to show her how much he cared. He found himself getting more and more invested in the moment, the emotions inside him swirling with a mix of excitement, passion, and a growing desire to impress her. His body moved with the rhythm of the song, his eyes never leaving Bubbles, filled with emotion and affection.
Bubbles. Mabel, Bubbles is definitely into it, and his talented voice, and the movements now. Dipper, I wasn't expecting all this. Cartman, there is no way in hell that's impossible. Kyle, it is, Cartman. Deal with the surprise.
Zim continued to sing with his heart and soul, feeling the emotions welling up inside him, a mix of excitement, passion, and an increasing desire to sweep Bubbles off her feet. His eyes stayed locked with Bubbles, his body moving in sync with the tune, his voice and movements filled with an undeniable passion. He put all of his effort into the performance, pouring every ounce of his heart and soul into the song, hoping to impress her and win her over with his talent and feelings.
Bubbles subconsciously got up onto the stage next to Zim, holding his hand, still gazing at him with a dazed, relaxed smile, and her flushed, rosy face, her heart increasing, skipping beats. Everyone's shocked by surprise from what's happening. Cartman in disbelief, while Blossom and Dipper were intrigued in curiosity.
Zim felt a shiver of surprise and anticipation run through him as Bubbles took his hand and stood beside him on the stage, his heart racing at her proximity and the sight of her flushed, rosy face. He couldn't quite believe it, but he found himself singing with more passion and feeling, his voice still soft and melodic, his hand in hers, his eyes locked onto hers, filled with affection and a mix of emotions that he couldn't quite articulate.
Bubbles began to sing to the song along with Zim, her voice soft and enthusiastic. Oh, oh, all the lights are shining so brightly everywhere, so brightly, baby, and the sound of children's laughter fills the air. Everyone gasped in disbelief, surprise from the unexpected turn of events. Blossom, Cartman, what the hell is she doing? Is she singing along with him on stage? Kyle, holy crap! How is this unexpectedly surprisingly happening? Dipper, this is definitely new.
Zim's heart skipped a beat as Bubbles joined in with him on stage, singing along and dancing to the song with an enthusiasm that matched his own. He was taken aback by her unexpected move, but his eyes stayed on her, filled with disbelief and admiration for her. He sang with a mix of emotions, the sound of the song filling the air, his voice weaving seamlessly with Bubbles as their voices blended together in an unexpected harmony.
Star Butterfly, OMG, this is cute. Charlotte, I know, hee hee. It's like a duo pair that's on stage singing as a duo on stage together. It's lovely. Cartman, of course you expected that. Blossom, this is kind of beautiful. Blossom continues to sing on stage with Zim holding his hands intently, bubbly, cheerful as her adorable, attracting angel voice spread around the room. Morty Smith, Jesus, it feels like there's an angel heaven here, 'cause she sounds like the voice of an angel.
Zim felt his heart pound with a mix of excitement and affection, the sound of Bubbles' angel-like voice sending shivers down his spine as they continued to sing together on stage. His hand firmly intertwined with hers. He couldn't tear his eyes away from her, captivated and mesmerized by her presence, and the way their voices blended together in a melody of love and tenderness.
Bubbles continuing to sing with Zim while spinning around, dancing, began to glance contact with him, her big sparkling blue eyes never leaving, bubbly, heartwarming. And everyone is singing, oh yeah, I hear those sleigh bells ringing, Santa won't you bring, won't let me bring, really, will you please bring my baby to me? Blossom, this duo is really getting a blast to this edition song. Kyle, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Cartman, someone's a critic. Dib and Gaz watch us intently stunned, surprised, while Dipper watching in interest and taking in notes on everything.
Zim's heart skipped a beat as Bubbles looked at him mid-performance, her sparkling blue eyes locked with his, sending a wave of emotion coursing through him. He sang along, their voices blending together in perfect harmony, each note filled with a mix of affection and tenderness, reflecting the emotions swirling within him. He felt his heart swelling with affection and an overwhelming sense of love. Her words and the way she sang them making his heart pounding, with a mix of emotions only she could bring out in him.
Bubbles, oh, I want a lot for Christmas. This is all I'm asking for. I just want to see my baby standing right outside my door. Oh, I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. Bouncing around, still holding Zim's hand and looking at him, cheerfully interested, having fun. Ed chuckled, idiotically interested, while Morty Smith chuckled softly, intrigued. Jenny, someone should record this. Eddie, you sure you don't want to embarrass them, Robotine? Sarcastically teased with a hint of fun. Kyle, knock it off. You guys, we're not doing any of that. Just keep watching.
Zim was entranced by Bubbles' performance, her energy and enthusiasm infectious as she bounced around the stage, holding his hand and looking at him with that cheerful, interested smile. He sang along, matching her energy and enthusiasm, his voice a mix of affection and a hint of playfulness, reflecting the growing desire to sweep her off her feet. He found himself enjoying the moment more than he thought possible. The sound of their voices and the energy on the stage, creating a sense of magic that was hard to ignore.
Bubbles began to lower her legs to the floor, almost bowing down, like the final act to finish off, as she continues to sing, her voice getting high and loud and thrill in a bubbly way. Oh, baby, I want for Christmas is you, baby. Cartman, holy Jesus Christ, what the hell? Vendetta laughs in amusement while Charlotte, Jenny, and Mabel, recording everything in interest, curiously entertained.
Zim felt his heart skip a beat as Bubbles bowed down towards him in the final act of the song, her voice rising in a mix of bubbly enthusiasm and thrill as she sang the words to the song. Her voice echoed through the room and right into his heart, sending his mind into a whirl of emotions. His eyes were locked on hers the entire time, filled with affection and disbelief that this was really happening.
Bubbles, take it away with me, Zim. All I want for Christmas is you, baby. All I want for Christmas is you, baby. Everyone was stunned silent watching the duet unfolding. The atmosphere starts to sparkle in spirit.
Zim felt a rush of excitement and anticipation as Bubbles called out to him, signaling it was his cue to join in with her on the final part of the song. His heart pounded with a mix of nervousness and excitement, but he pushed it aside, taking a deep breath and launching into the final chorus of the song, blending his voice with hers in perfect harmony, the sound of their voices echoing through the room with an undeniable passion and emotion.
Everyone immediately claps in interest, surprised by the performance. Bubbles stops singing for a bit, bowing down, passionately ending the performance while giggling, bubbly, cheerful.
Zim felt a rush of adrenaline and satisfaction as they finished the performance, the room filling with applause and cheers. He found himself caught up in the moment, his heart racing with a mix of emotions as he watched Bubbles bow and giggle with bubbly enthusiasm. He held onto her hand, his eyes fixed on her with a mixture of affection and disbelief that they had just performed together on stage, the room alive with energy and excitement.
Bubbles, do you sing very talented well that I can't help but to join in and make it more interesting? Cartman secretly snickering teasingly while everyone else was stunned by what they're witnessing right now.
Zim felt a hint of cocky pride take over as Bubbles complimented his singing, a small, cocky smile tugging at the corners of his lips. Hey, you're not the only one pleasantly surprised, Sugar Puff. That was quite the performance we put on up there. He glanced at Cartman's snide comment, rolling his eyes jokingly, refusing to let it dampen his good mood.
Cartman, what's next? Is the married couple going to do a performance on the next American Idol of holiday couples or something? Sarcastically teased in interest. Gaz and Vendetta chuckled a bit, slightly amused and annoyed by everything, while Charlotte just giggled a bit, still thinking everything is so positive and fun. Dib. To be honest, I don't even know if they'll make it to the next American Idols with that talented performance. Mabel, I mean, come on, that was a blast.
Zim chuckled at Cartman's sarcastic comment, rolling his eyes again. Haha, very funny, fat ass. I doubt the American Idol producers could handle our talent anyway. He glanced over at Dib's comment, his ego flaring a bit at the implication. Excuse me, Dibstink, but we'd blow away the competition at American Idol, guaranteed.
Charlotte, hee hee. Everyone is rooting for that performance. Eddie, oh, we bet you will. Ed, wait, since when is this a Christmas audition? Gaz, it was just a fun performance of interest for the holidays, idiot. Glancing at Ed in disbelief annoyance. Blossom, it was very heartwarming to bring out the spirit in anyone, though.
Zim felt a growing sense of pride and satisfaction at Charlotte's comment, his heart swelling with a touch of arrogance. Heh, of course they are. We nailed that performance, and you all know it. He smirked at Ed's innocent question, rolling his eyes playful. Heh. It wasn't an audition, Ed Dork. Just a little seasonal performance to spread some holiday cheer.
Ed, oh, juggly or jiggly. Eddie, Lumpy getting worked up over that, chuckled, slightly mischievous. Kyle, well, I guess this has been a blast so far, especially some relationships on the holidays. Gaz, I'm getting a bit irritated on my dad. Is he not coming back or what? Dib face palmed. Gaz, patience. He's probably Dib face palmed. Gaz, patience. He's probably late for a meeting for his science work or something as usual.
Zim chuckled at Ed's outburst, enjoying the lighthearted, chaotic energy he brought to the group. Calm down, Ed dummy. No need to get all worked up. He listened to Kyle's comment, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips as he thought of his own holiday relationship. Yeah, it's been pretty sweet, wouldn't you say, Sugar Puff? He glanced over at Gaz, understanding her frustration with Professor Membrane's absence.
Bubbles nodded awkwardly cheerful while giggling bubbly shy. Charlotte,
Is this so adorable? I should take a picture.
Vendetta rolling her eyes from Charlotte's comment, feeling a bit mixed of irritation and intrigued.
No need to be specifically too positive over this. It's just a too warm, crazy holiday party, whatever. Or whatever.
Jenny chuckled slightly, unamused by Vendetta's moody behavior, secretly knowing Vendetta was enjoying this in curiosity as she scans around the room. Fascinated. You guys are too much of surprises.
Zim chuckled at Charlotte's eagerness to capture the moment on camera, his arm still wrapped around Bubbles. Ha! Go right ahead, Charlotte. Freeze the moment in all its delightful holiday glory. He shot a sly glance at Vendetta, a hint of amusement in his eyes at her moody comment. Oh, come on, Vendetta. Lighten up. It's the holidays, the season of warmth and cheer. Just let us enjoy the moment, you Grinch.
Cartman, considering that she's a fiendish one, especially the Grinch of all, mockingly points at Vendetta, laughing in amusement. Vendetta twitched a bit, surprised in disbelief, narrowing her eyes, a bit irritated, secretly mischievous and intrigued.
Psst, look who's talking. The real cringe talking, chubby boy.
Narrowing at Cartman sarcastically. Kyle, oh damn! Bubbles trying to hold back her giggles from this whole thing while holding on to Zim gently. Morty Smith, oh jeez, there's another heating up roast happening.
Zim couldn't help but chuckle at the banter between Vendetta and Cartman, watching the verbal sparring match with a hint of amusement. He felt Bubbles holding on to him, her hand gentle but firm in his, her attempts to suppress her giggles evident. Ha! The real Grinch showdown is happening right here. This is more entertaining than a holiday movie. He smirked at Kyle and Morty, his eyes glimmering with mischief, enjoying the festive chaos unfolding before him.
Blossom, okay, guys, let's just settle it down a bit. Cartman, oh, you did not just tell me that, you son of a bitch. Vendetta,
And what are you going to do about it, feisty chubby boy?
Dib face-palmed in disbelief from all this, not wanting to deal with this bullcrap, while checking the windows around outside, hoping Professor Membrane might come back in concerned curiosity.
Zim chuckled at Blossom's attempt to mediate the escalating situation, but it was clear that the sparks were already flying between Cartman and Vendetta. He observed the banter, a hint of sly amusement in his eyes as the taunts flew back and forth. He glanced over at Dib, noticing the frustration on his face as he looked out the window. Zim couldn't help but find the whole situation rather entertaining, a small grin tugging at the corners of his lips. Ugh, why so tense, D-Stink? Lighten up a bit.
Dipper pines. Dib, you okay? Dib, oh, I'm fine. It's just, I don't know when my dad will be back from his lections or anything. He's probably more focused on his work and goals and studies better than spending time with me and my sister. Cartman.
That sounds hypocritical of him.
Kyle.
For once again, I agree. Why is Professor Membrane like that? Doesn't he not know what's more important than just science and you guys?
Dib sighs, a bit irritated but softened in disbelief. I'm not too sure myself. I don't know if he'll ever come back to spend time with us or not.
Zim listened to Dipper and the others discuss Professor Membrane's absence, his usual smirk softening as he observed Dib's expression. He watched as the disappointment and frustration took over his features, his heart suddenly feeling a pang of empathy. Ha, I can see why you're frustrated, D-Stink. It sounds like Professor Membrane's prioritizing his work over his own family. Kinda messed up, if you ask me. Zim glanced at the others, his usual cocky confidence momentarily set aside in favor of a more gentle understanding.
Dib chuckled a bit from Zim's comment, unexpectedly appreciating that in interest, secretly still a hint of annoyed depression. Yeah, you can say that. I'm surprised you're more entertaining than my dad. Glancing at Zim a bit for amusement. Gaz.
Oh, damn.
Bubbles feeling a bit surprised and guilt about what's happening so far between the Membrane family in concern.
Zim chuckled lightly at Dib's comment, a hint of surprise flickering across his face. Heh, I guess even I can seem more entertaining than your workaholic father. But it's not hard, honestly. He seems so wrapped up in his research he's neglectful, huh? He glanced at Gaz, his expression changing to one of slight confusion at her sudden reaction, then turned his attention to Bubbles, sensing her concern and guilt. Don't worry about it, Sugar Puff. It's not your fault.
Bubbles.
Thanks, but I just sure hope our character BFF group, a better family of siblings to even around for both Dip and Gas, especially without their father around, more importantly, for real science.
Dib smiled a bit surprised at Bubbles' statement, feeling his heart touched by her words, feeling warm and intrigued and concerned. By looking around with the people around us, and I can tell you guys are always there no matter what. It's like never leaving at all. I can tell what Bubbles is saying. Morty Smith. Hey, at least you got us. You don't need to be that lonely.
Jenny. Especially around the carefree, chaotic, and responsible ones here.
Dipper, chuckling softly, curiously shocked about all of this.
Zim smiled slightly, his heart beating faster at Bubbles' words and the kindness in her voice. He glanced around the room, taking in everyone's supportive expressions and words, feeling a sense of warmth wash over him. Yeah, you're right. We're like a little family here. A chaotic, maybe a bit crazy one, but a family nonetheless. He glanced at Dipper's shocked expression, smirking a bit, amused by his surprise. Heh, don't be too surprised, D-Stink. Sometimes, family isn't just about sharing blood.
Dib, yeah, I guess it's about anyone here around to be with and appreciate that. I appreciate that. Ed stupidly began to wrap around everyone into a big, cramped group hug in a dumb cheerfulness. Let's have a family group hug! Cartman,
Egg the hell!
Eddie, easy now, Lumpy. Dipper Pines and Mabel Pines were surprised by this and stunned, shocked, but relaxed a bit, feeling cramped by everyone.
Zim rolled his eyes at Ed's sudden group hug initiative, but secretly found himself quite amused by the big dumb hugger. Heh, oh great, a group hug. Because this isn't awkward or anything. He let himself get pulled into the group hug, squished between people, his usual demeanor of cool and aloof replaced with a hint of amusement and a smidge of warmth. He found himself grinning as he glanced around at everyone's faces, caught in the moment of unexpected affection.
Jenny wrapped around everyone firmly a bit softly than Ed's tight embrace. Heh, group hug. Bubbles giggles as she wrapped her arms around everyone in a group hug, bubbly, awkward about this. Kyle, oh damn. Morty Smith, oh geez, I almost couldn't breathe. Vendetta groaned a bit, irritated in disbelief, but quickly gotten relaxed to it, while Charlotte cheers and in pursuit to hug everyone squeezingly, positively. Blossom chuckled softly, intrigued, while slowly hugging back, feeling relaxed casually. Dib and Gas chuckled, slightly grateful and interested, feeling comfortable to the character group around them like actual family members as they smiled softly.
Zim chuckled as Jenny and Bubbles joined in with enthusiasm, their arms wrapping solidly around everyone in the tight group hug. He felt the warmth and affection emanating from the others, his heart oddly swelling with a mix of comfort and vulnerability, unexpected emotions he usually suppressed. He glanced at Dib and Gaz, noticing their soft smiles and the gratitude in their eyes as they accepted the chaotic, makeshift family around them. Zim felt his own smile creeping broader on his face, a small spark of genuine caring flickering in his otherwise cynical exterior.